Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to sit down and use some new products from a brand that I have enjoyed very much. I use a lot of this brand's products off camera. I've done a few videos here and there on this brand. I do believe that it is an underrated brand. I don't hear many people talk about Laura Geller products, and I wanted to use some of her new releases. There's new holiday stuff which I did not purchase for this video. I just bought some new sort of releases that are core products that I believe will be available beyond the holiday season. I kind of took out some of my favorites as well from my drawers to incorporate into today's video. I truly love this brand because the products are great. The formulas are fantastic. She's known for baked makeup products. I have several of her baked products and I adore them. I have some of her face palettes that basically do a lot of my steps in one, which I thoroughly enjoy. I have some eyeshadow palettes. She makes one of my favorite lipstick formulas. I just wanted to give some more love and attention to this brand because like I said, I don't hear many people talk about it. And she's got some really great products, some really easy to use products, user friendly. The formulas are great. The performance is there. And so I just wanted to kind of bring some more attention to this brand and share with you some of my favorites. And of course, put makeup on this face. The only thing I have is lip balm, skincare, and brows. And I am ready to get started. So if that sounds good, bust out all of your makeup goodies. Let's get ready together and let's get started.
I want to put in a disclaimer here. This video was actually filmed back in October and I honestly forgot to edit and post it. The lighting is going to be different as you will see in the next coming clips. I've upgraded the lighting, so kind of just bear with me as we get through this video. I still feel the same about the brands and the products. That has not changed. I figured I'd post this anyways because it could be helpful for anyone considering the brand or wanting to know more of the Laura Geller products. Bonus is that I noticed her products, some of them are on the Ulta.com website, which is new, and that's also great news. So thanks for understanding, and let's go ahead and get started.
I like to start my routine first doing my complexion. So Laura Geller is known for her Spackle Primers. There's several different options, some with a little bit of a tint, some with more radiance. This is the original, the clear. It's a squeeze tube with a pump, which I like. And it's a nice size. It's 2 ounces of product, so it's something that's gonna last a really long time. It comes out with like a light milky white color, but when you blend this into the skin, it's virtually clear. And it's a basic primer that kind of preps, adds a little bit of hydration without really flooding the skin with too much, where someone with oily skin would probably not want to use it. I feel like it's a really great sort of basic primer in the best way that it's great for all skin types. It's not like one that you have to be a certain skin type to actually use. If you haven't seen her Baked, Balance, and Brighten product, it's actually pretty cool. It's a swirl of different shades, and this is what it looks like. I have the shade Fair, and as you can see, it looks like a ton of different like swirled shades together that when you swirl your brush, it kind of comes together and gives you the actual skin tone shade that you purchased. Mine is going to be the fair shade, so it's going to be pretty light. And I just think it looks really pretty. You can really see the detail mostly on the Baked, Bronze, and Brighten. You can see from a distance even the swirling and that marbling effect of different shades that kind of come together to give you a really beautiful end result. Now, baked formulas are pretty interesting because they start off as creams. They're baked on terracotta pans like you're baking a batch of cookies. So it's pretty cool. They go through a very special process to get to this end result. And I do feel like it makes it just a little bit more special to use and to have, to look at. These are all made in Italy. This is one of her blushes, the Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. So pretty. It's so cool to look at it and see all the shades and pick out the colors. So I think what I want to do is add a little layer of a liquid foundation just because I want a little bit more coverage. I've got some breakouts happening. So I'm going to apply that first, and then we're going to use some of the other baked products on top to amp up the coverage and then proceed with the next steps of our routine. So this is the part where I'm going to layer on one of her other products on top of this liquid foundation. So typically, if I was going to do just my regular foundation routine with just Laura Geller products, I would probably go into the Baked, Balance, and Brighten and Fair, which is a very natural looking product. It goes on with nice coverage. You can build this up. But then if you wanted something that is a little bit more full coverage, she has that Double Take baked product that I showed you earlier. And it's one of those sort of, again, domed products because it is baked as well. And it's a really soft looking product. It's a soft matte. It's not dry. It's not chalky. I kind of wanted to show you both of them so you can see it. I certainly wouldn't choose both to mix every day. It's not necessary. But for today's video, I wanted to show you so I can do one on each side. So I'm going to just pick a big fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques Multitask Mini Brush. I'm going to go into the Fair in the Balance and Brighten. And I'm just going to kind of press this right over the top so you can see. I still need to do my concealer, so I'm not going to bring this too close to the under eye. And you can just, again, amp up your coverage like I'm doing today, or this can be buffed on in layers to be your main foundation, and it never looks dry, cakey, heavy. I feel like this is definitely one of those underrated brands, as I said before. I don't know why more people are not talking about her products. I think she makes really beautiful, easy to use formulas. So this gave me more coverage, and you can pull it down a little bit if you need to. I normally don't put makeup on my neck, but with her formulas, I'm okay with doing that. So this basically gave me a little bit more coverage and kind of worked in a way of amping up what I had previously with the foundation, and also setting it because it is a powder form. So I wanted to show you the same sort of routine, but using that double take so you can see the coverage that that's gonna give me. And then I'll blend it all together to make it look like it all matches. And I'm gonna be using that same brush as well, doing the same method. I feel like the tone of this Fair is just a bit lighter than the tone of Fair in the Balance and Brighten. And I think it's just because each product in this sort of baked formula is swirled with different shades, and they're all going to look different. It's not the same exact cookie cutter look for each pan. And it gives a really beautiful soft matte finish, which I prefer a more soft matte look, a more satin finish versus full on dry matte or super luminous and radiant. And I feel like this is definitely one of those products that looks really pretty, really soft, very natural, but definitely adds that coverage. And I just did a little bit so you can see the difference between this side and this side. So here you can see both foundations applied over a liquid. You don't have to do this. I just wanted to kind of demo both of them since I am talking about both of these products, and I personally love both of them. They honestly look very similar on the skin. I feel like the shade is just a little bit different and darker on this side with the Baked, Balance, and Brighten and Fair versus the Double Take side. But that's just a shade problem, not really a big deal, honestly, to me. It's just the way it looks on the skin. They both look skin-like, very natural. It doesn't even look like I layered a liquid product with a powder to get to this result. I really do enjoy it. So I'm gonna just kind of buff back and forth on both sides just to kind of even everything out. Let's add a little bit of color back into the skin and use one of the new products that I ordered for this video. This is the Serum Bronzing Cheek Lift. So it's a serum bronzer. I ordered the shade Soft Sunshine. It's one of those sort of serum blushes that have that sort of sponge tip applicator. You kind of twist the bottom and you can dot it on, you can swipe it on. And you've seen this sort of type of component before with different brands. They have that kind of sponge tip. It's a lot more common now than it ever used to be. I also have one of her blushes in the same sort of serum formula. But something to note that makes this different just automatically is not only the price point, it's pretty affordable and it's not astronomical as other bronzers and blushes on the market. Laura Geller gives you an extra applicator. So if this gets dirty, messed up, or for hygienic reasons a couple months down the road, you can replace it with a brand new one. So each bronzer comes with a new replacement and each blush as well. That is something that right automatically off the bat makes this one different and unique, because what brand can you name that gives you an extra applicator? I'll wait. So I'm going to give it a click to open, and it also has a little sign here that says it's imprinted there, remove to clean, so you can actually pop this off. So let's see, how many times will it take to get this to show up? The first sign of the product coming through to the top is so satisfying. So you keep clicking it, and once you can see it, I would say just give it a couple clicks and take a look at it, because I have been just crazy at times and I'm just like clicking away, and then all this product comes out and it's wasteful. Put some on the back of your hand, use a brush. You can sort of dot it on like so. And let's just try that method out. Let's actually do both. I'm going to use a Real Techniques 449 brush. This is actually a tapered, what is it? Cheek brush. And I'm going to blend this out. I'm going to work quickly just because I'm not quite sure if this is going to set right away or if I have some play time. And it looks like I do have some time to blend it before it kind of sets down. And I like this tone, this shade. I don't know if I mentioned before, Soft Sunshine. A very natural kind of bronze, like vacation type of glow. So let's work it into the brush from the back of the hand, which is probably what I typically would do. And let's start just kind of stippling this on and bringing it over the nose and basically across this sort of upper cheek area. Let's get some more. But that's blending in really, really nicely. No issues whatsoever. So this formula feels very thin, very lightweight. It's just because it's a serum formula, so it's nice. I feel like it definitely adds some color. Looks really soft and natural, and it's blending in really, really easily, very effortlessly. As I expected, I've never had issues with any of my Laura Geller products looking cakey, heavy, difficult to blend. I've always been thrilled, and that's why I use her products when I have very minimal time, because I know they're gonna work. Looking up close in the mirror, this actually looks very skin-like. It doesn't have a dry sort of matte look to it, but it isn't overly radiant and glowy. There's no luminosity, so no shimmer in this whatsoever. So I feel like it's great for a lot of different skin types, assuming that you like more liquid serum-based products. I'm very thrilled with this so far. So now we get to do a little bit of the blush, and I'm excited. The blush shade is called Beautiful Blossom. Same thing, give it some clicks and just wait for the beautiful color to show up. There she is. She's starting to come to the surface. Look how pretty. Very satisfying. I don't know why I find that so satisfying. Am I the only one? I just really like how that looks when it starts to come up to the top, and I get excited because I love blush. It's one of my favorite things to wear, and I feel like I always go overboard with blush, but I feel like this formula is going to keep me in line from looking crazy. So look at that color, so pretty. Look how pretty that is. So let's go ahead and work from the back of the hand. Same brush, that Real Techniques 449, and then start tapping right over the top of that Serum Bronzer. Ooh, that's pretty. It gives a really pretty sort of light flush, and there's a couple shades to choose from. I just chose one of those lighter, more cool tone pinks, just because I've been into the cool tone pinks lately, and I thought, why not give it a go? Look how pretty that is. So pretty. Very natural, very lightweight. There's a little bit of moisture coming off, and I think it's just because this is a serum-based formula, but it doesn't look overly radiant and dewy. And there's also no shimmer at all in this product. That's a really pretty color. I like this. I wanted to show you some of my favorite face palettes from Laura Geller. These palettes are everything to me. As a stay-at-home mom of 4, I have to get myself ready pretty quickly most days, and I reach for these very, very often. So the first one that I purchased was the Baked Full Face Basics that looks like this. I actually use this one all the time. Comes with a mirror. Inside you have some of her very popular baked products and a few eyeshadows, which I have used so many times, and this is what I reach for when I'm getting myself ready on the weekends, because all I have to add to this is a foundation, concealer, a setting powder, brows, mascara, and then just this, because I've got blush, I've got highlight, I've got bronzer, and I've got eyeshadow. So this is also very travel friendly, even though it's a sort of larger square shape. You can fit this into a makeup bag and then just add a couple extra pieces that you need, and it's all good to go. The other one that I purchased is the Tuscan Dreams, or the best of the best Tuscan Dreams, and I think this was last year's holiday. This one has 6 eyeshadows. You have a couple baked products here, and then you have that classic, very popular French vanilla highlighter there that looks absolutely beautiful. She also has just regular eyeshadow palettes, small ones like this, and then larger ones that look pretty cool. And the ones that have like the baked look to it, they have that sort of round, they almost looks like mini little chocolates, right? So cute. That's really pretty. And then she also has just the regular square pan. This is one of the Casual Collections, Copper and Khaki. So this is a really pretty setup there as well. It looks like a typical eyeshadow palette with a mirror. I want to finish up my face routine now that I've gotten out of the way my favorites and showed you some up close shots of those products. I want to add a little bit of my baked bronze and Brighten in the fair shade. So I just picked a small, more tapered brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that, swirl it in the back of my hand, and use that to add a little bit more bronze and to kind of set those serum products down just a little bit. And I'm also going to take a little bit on the tip of the brush and go across my eyelids. And why not add just a little hint of a powder blush? I can't help myself. Every time I have my Laura Geller products out on my vanity or in my makeup bag, I always want to reach for pink buttercream. And that comes from the Full Face of Basics face palette. It looks like that. It's got some swirls of a light soft pink, a hot pink, a little bit of a kind of rose gold look to it. It's really pretty. It has a soft kind of sheen to it. It's not overly metallic like the highlighter down here, but this one has such a beautiful look to it, and you can customize it. Really, you can go a little bit lighter up here and get something softer, or you can go down towards the side that has more hot pink, and it's like having two blushes in one. And then use that to set my blush and just do a little bit of a layering technique. This will help with longevity to keep everything in place, especially if you have a long day. The last step for my complexion routine is a little bit of highlighter. I have the original French Vanilla individually, but I also have it in that Full Face of Basics. You also get the Portofino highlighter in this palette, so I wanted to show you that. So the French Vanilla, I have duplicates of that one. It's really light. It's one of those that is great for anybody, regardless of your skin type, because it adds a bit of a soft glow. I would say this is more of like an ethereal sort of candlelit kind of glow that doesn't look too glittery, radiant. It's not metallic, it's not chunky, it's super smooth. Now, Portofino on the other end of the spectrum is a little bit more bold, and you can tell the difference looking at them. So let me swatch. Portofino she is here, she is blinding, she's come to play, okay? This one is much more intense, much more shimmery. As you can see how that looks when the light hits it, it's stunning. So I like that she's giving you those two options. And this French Vanilla is so light that it's really hard to mess up. It's one of those that kind of goes just seamlessly right over the top of your skin. Looks super pretty. It's very thin and light, so it's very user-friendly. It's not a disco ball highlight. There's no sparkle. There's no chunks of glitter. There's nothing sort of metallic or foiled about it. It just looks really, really pretty and just light. So if you want to try highlight and you feel like most highlighters on the market are just too intense, try the French Vanilla. This is my face routine using the Laura Geller products, so you can see everything in action and how it looks at the end. Much better than my starting point, of course. And it looks very skin-like. It feels like there's not much of anything on my face. But you know what? We gotta add a little bit of Portofino because I'm feeling a little sassy today, and that highlighter is just, I'm ready for it. So I'm gonna use that same brush. I'm gonna pick up just a pinch, like I just dipped my brush ever so slightly into that Portofino. And let me show you. I'm gonna just tap it on the higher points. Just to demo this one as well for anybody who likes a bit of a bolder, more intense highlight. Her range gives you options. You have something soft and light, and then you have something a little bit more bold and intense there. As you can see with the glow, with the lighting. So pretty. I love it. I just really do. Some of my other favorite products from Laura Geller are the Italian Marble lipsticks. I've talked about these before. I own 4 of them. She has recently changed the packaging, so it has the LG on the top, and you see the name Laura Geller, but it has the magnetic closure, which is so satisfying. One of my very first shades is just a classic plastic, which seems a little bit more, dare I say, kind of more cheap feeling, but the upgraded packaging feels a lot thicker, more substantial, more weighted, and that magnetic closure takes it over the top. So I love these shades. My favorite one is Berry Vanilla. It's a classic cool tone pink. It's everyday. But let me just show you what these swirled lipsticks look like up close. Let me just take the caps off of them so you can see them. They're just really pretty. I'll show you just a few so you can see how they look. They have that beautiful marbling look to it. Do you see that? So pretty, so unique. It's like a piece of art to look at. And when you put this on, they swirl together the shades. They have really nice swatches and pictures on the website for you to choose the colors. I love them. They're comfortable. They're easy to wear. And they are just a classic cream formula. And that sort of marbling look just takes it over the edge for me because it's different and it's pretty. It's better than just looking at a regular lipstick bullet, right? I have a couple new lip products from Laura Geller. Like I said before, I love the Italian Marble lipsticks. Those are my favorite ones. They look so beautiful. She has a new launch. It's the Fine Shine Glossy Lip Oil. I chose one shade, Rose Garden, which looks like that. A really pretty kind of rosy everyday type of shade. I also want to try this Jelly Balm lipstick in the shade In the Buff. I've been wanting to try this for a while. I have a few other shades, like a just peachy shade, which is definitely a peach. These do have a lot more pigment to it than what you would think. So let me just swatch this shade In the Buff. That's the In the Buff shade. It's a really nice, like everyday classic pink shade with that kind of balmy, glossy feel and look to it, which is definitely me. And then let me just show you the Rose Garden as well, because I want to try this formula out. These lip oils, they tend to be a little bit more sheer, so you can use that as a topper with a lip liner, a lipstick, or anything underneath, or on its own if you like. It's just a sheer tint of color. Let's go into that Jelly Balm in the shade In the Buff. I'm gonna swatch that for you. Ooh, it's thin, it's balmy. This is the Jelly Balm in the Buff. Such a pretty shade. I feel like it's a nice everyday color. For me personally, I think what I would do first is use a nude lip liner just to kind of sculpt and shape the lips a little bit better, and then go in with this. But it feels very thin, very light. Like I just put on a tinted lip balm, except the tint on this is much more than a typical lip balm. And I think that shade is really pretty. It's a classic pink shade that's great for every day. So let's take this off and try the lip oil, because I have had my eye on this one while it's been sitting on my vanity, and I've got to try it. The Jelly Balm in the Buff shade left a little bit of a stain. I wiped it off, and this is what's left. So it's nice to know that that color specifically is going to wear off really well. So let's go in with that Rose Garden. Ew, a nice minty smell to it. Oh, that feels nice. Yep. And this is the lip oil in Rose Garden. I love this formula. It feels very nourishing, very comforting. I love that high shine, and it's a nice substantial feeling lip oil that's going to hang on for some time. Most lip oils can be a little bit thin, like they'll sort of slip and slide and disappear in a matter of minutes. And this one is a little bit thicker. It's gonna stay on a lot longer, and it feels so comfortable, and that sort of mint kind of feel is ever so slight cooling and very pleasant. There is no stinging, there's no burning. So when you kind of smell that pretty strong mint scent to it, that kind of peppermint scent, it's not going to sting or burn. It feels just ever so slight cooling, very kind of minimal, almost like it's not even there. But that shade is beautiful. The formula is perfection. I love it. I just wish I would have purchased all of them so that I could have them all, because they feel so nice on the lips. And that's exactly what my lips were craving. I want to do a quick eyeshadow look. I'm going to go into the Delectables palette, the Modern Marvels. I think this is still available. If not, she has some really great baked eyeshadow palettes that you can purchase on her website. And these are the colors, so you can kind of see they're kind of warm, rosy, kind of bronzy vibes. And I'm going to go in with one that's called Beige, which is like a light tan shade. And I'm going to use one of my BK Beauty brushes. This is a 212. To quickly apply that into the crease. And you don't really need to tap off your brush. Like, there's very minimal powder kick up at all with this baked formula. Let me just show you. So this is the shade Beige that I started, and I'm going right next door, which is a little bit deeper and slightly more warm. It's called Toasted, same brush. And I'm adding a little bit more color, a little bit more warmth, keeping it simple, easy. Moving down to the lower lashes, I'm going to go into the shade called Brick, which is a very warm kind of reddish brown. And I'm going to use a small detail brush. This is a BK Beauty 204 brush. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to run that on my lower lashes really quickly. I'm going to use that same brush, and something about the shade Chocolate is just calling my name. It's this one at the bottom of the palette. It's like a really rich chocolate brown with a sort of metallic finish to it, kind of like a bronzy brown shade. Same brush, which is that 204 from BK Beauty. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to run that right over the top of the Brick color, and then I'm going to blend it out. For that, I'm going to use an A502. This is one of the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brushes. I'm going back to the beige shade that I use as my transition, and I'm going to use that to blend and soften that edge right at the bottom. Lower lash line is done. I'm going to move up to the upper crease area. I'm going to take that same sort of warm brown terracotta shade called Brick, and I'm going to use that 212 that I used initially. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to place this right on the outer part of my eye, and then blend that into the beige. And I'm keeping that color pretty much right out here on the outer part of my eye. So I had to finish my look off camera because my camera, Canon, has a built-in shut off where if the camera gets too hot, it shuts off, or if you've been recording for too long, it shuts off as well. I had to let it cool off. So what I did was I finished my eyes and I did a little bit of tweaking for the lip combo. So for the rest of the eye look, I still use that same palette. I took the champagne shade and I used that on my lids. I think the camera cut off when I was using brick in the outer V, just a little bit more of a definition there with the same 212 crease brush from BK Beauty. So that's what I had on the outer V. Champagne, inner corner, highlight, and also on the lid. And then I took this icy shade called Ivory, which is like a silvery white light shade, and I used that to highlight my brow bone. Then I took the burgundy with a detail brush and used that as liner. I did some tight lining with a black eyeliner pencil. And then I used the Laura Geller Always There Waterproof Mascara. This is not a new product launch. It is new to me, and I wanted to try it out. I think it gave some nice length, but it's a very messy formula. I'm not sure if it's because I was rushing to get it done so that I can finish wrapping up this video, but I had some smudges and it was pretty difficult to remove. I have like a bit of a stain right here from one of the smudges. I think it's just because it's a waterproof formula, so it made it difficult to do some cleanup. So this is the first product, honestly, that I've ever tried from her line that was just kind of so-so. I think the formula is just a little too wet for my preference initially, but it gave me some nice length. I did 2 coats of that on my top lashes, and my bottom lashes are bare, just the eyeshadow. Then the tweaking that I did for the lip combo, I took my Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut lip liner and I just lined to kind of give myself a little bit more of a defined shape. And I still have that same lip oil on from before, and that's the end lip combo, which I love. And as you can see, everything comes together really easily and beautifully. I love the end result. I think it's just soft, very natural, very effortless, just easy every day. I will be using some of these products again, most definitely, when I'm getting myself ready, when I'm not filming, when I'm getting ready to go out with my family. I just feel like it's just something easy to use. You can't mess it up. You can add and build as much as you like, and it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look crazy, and it actually looks blended, easy, smooth. It looks like you know what you're doing, and that works for me every single time, to have products and formulas that just work every time. That's what I look for as a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids. I need products that work, and I've never had issues with her products ever giving me problems. The one thing from today's video that was kind of meh was the mascara, but that could just be because I was rushing. I do want to let it sit since this was the first time using it. Maybe in a week or 2, it might be a little drier and it might just be the best mascara. Who knows? And I hope that this video was helpful so that you can see these products, kind of know some more about Laura Geller if you've been curious about her brand, her products, her formulas. I hope this video was helpful in giving you some insight on it. I thoroughly am a big fan, as you can probably already tell. The favorite product that was new today was, I have to say, that lip oil was, this is it, okay? This is very, very good. And I did really enjoy the new serum formulas and her bronzer and her blush. And I always love sitting down and sharing with you some of my favorite products, some great recommendations. So thank you for being here, for watching, for getting ready with me today. Everything is going to be listed and linked for you down below. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I post every Tuesday and every Friday. We can also be friends on Instagram. It's here on the screen. Take care, you guys, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.